Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. Welcome, 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 welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Michaels Harris, and it is a beautiful day in this neighborhood. The sun is shining. It's going to rain at some point, but I don't care. The sun is shining right now, and I'm so excited because the promise is fulfilled right now in this moment, and that's the promise where two or more of us come together. You know what's going to happen. That's right, something wonderful. It's not a might, could, should. It will, it does, it has, and it will continue. Can I get an amen? There we go. I'm just so thrilled. It's just, man, outside, everything is just looking better than ever before. This world is responding to cleanliness. I'm telling you what, we have trees that have blossoms on them I've never seen. Everything is twice the size it usually is this time of year, and I believe it's because we had to get on our P's and Q's over the last year and do some soul searching, some soul cleaning, and not just the outside, but apparently we've done it on the inside. But you know, we kind of roll like that anyway, right? Pandemic or not. So anyway, good morning again. So happy to be here. All these beautiful people, come on in, come on in. Don't be shy now. Don't be shy. Great show in store today. Hey, hi, Robert Brooker and Yolanda Riley, Lori Whitney, all these super fans that are always here. Love to see your faces and love what you do and the value you bring to the show. Now, happy Pride Month to everyone. It is the 8th day of June. And let me see. Let me think. What? Oh, I got a couple of things from the news. Oh, and stick around. I think I'm going to play some trivia or some kind of game today with our guest, Banky D. Benjamin from the beautiful country of Canada. Oh, I could have worn my Canada hat, but I wear it to the health club now, so it's still sweaty from this morning. I can't wear wet, damp stuff. Damp. So I want to give away a CD today. I'm turning it around. My last project, my last recording project. I'm gonna give that away to maybe one, maybe two lucky viewers today. So remind me to get that done before we get out of here. In the news, did you see R. Kelly? I was on the treadmill today. I looked up and he was on all the screens. Apparently, I don't know which is the truth, but his team of lawyers are either fired or they've quit here in Chicago. And he's about to be extradited to New York, apparently, to face his sex trafficking charges over there. And this was interesting. Someone told me, just check it out. I was like, well, how much money does he still have? Because, you know, they say no one's buying his products and this and the other since the allegations. Now, prior to the allegations, R. Kelly was worth upwards of $100 million. As of about 6 weeks ago, he's $2 million in the hole, negative $2 million. So, karma, y'all. What you do in the dark? Right. Okay. So anyway, but you know what? I say we pray for him. I say we pray for him and all the victims. Because, you know, it's just a shame. Also, I thought it was kind of cool. I didn't know this, that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry named their new baby girl. Her middle name is Diana. And who didn't love Diana? Don't you miss her? I do. You guys, welcome to the show. Help me welcome my sidekick, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's my personal version of Ed McMahon from The Tonight Show. And today we are drinking some coffee I didn't even look at. I think it was in a jar, nameless. I told you they smell different, but they taste the same. I don't care what the name is. That's the bell of purpose. That means that something great is going on. It means pay attention, lean in, write it down, send it out. Share the program out when you hear the bell. Put some hearts on the screen. Get involved. Get involved. This is not, if this were a church, you could not be a pew sitter. Okay? I want you to get involved. Drop some comments in. Share it out. Do some of this. I don't care. Just don't sit there like a bump on a log. We want to pour into you so that you feel the need to pour back into us. We need you just as much, if not more, than you need us. Keep that in mind, okay? Everybody needs each other. So, who is Banky D? Banky D, she's been here before. Now, I met this young lady a few years back when I was speaking in Canada, and she was in the audience. She is affectionately known as Banky. Charisse, I believe that's how you say the name, Benjamin. She's a mom, she's a visual artist, and a diehard serial entrepreneur. She's also the founder of BANKI Designs, and she has done my Power of We website. So if you want to see some of her work, get over and take a look at that. And I've been working with her on that tip with BANKI Designs not long after I came back from Canada, and no regrets, never a moment's trouble. She is the bomb. So get over and check out BANKI Designs. I hope we drop that connector in for you today. Also, she's a Toronto-based creative agency offering branding solutions, graphic and web design, social media content management services as well. Now, let me see. She got a whole bunch of stuff. She services mainly small to medium-sized businesses, so that's all of us, right? She's got over 15 years experience in creative solutions and business management. So she's got a lot more, but if I keep talking, she won't get in here until 8:30. So you guys know how we do it at this point. It's not about just putting hearts on the screen, but it's about putting your heart and spirit into the conversation today. That is what we do to uplift, heal, and encourage ourselves after encouraging others. Can I get an amen? Thank you. So you guys, here she comes. Put your hearts together. Let's throw some on the screen and get her in here. Make her feel welcome. This is Banky D. Benjamin. Hi, Banky. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm looking at, oh, Lord. I'm looking at all these connectors. I gotta get them and put them in. How are you? How are things? What's the weather like there?
It's getting nice.
It is. Did you guys have rain this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did too. I'm glad though. Um, everything outside needs it. I have a garden this year. It's small. It's small. I have beans, carrots, radishes, tomatoes, and cucumbers,
Nice.
and lettuce, and
Nice.
lettuce. Yeah. So, have you ever had a garden?
Yes.
And how did you
Um,
do? Was it?
Not well.
Oh no. Any tips? You got any tips of what not to do or something to do? I just put coffee grounds out there.
Buy the seeds and put it in there.
Who? I did. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on how to get the soil ready and all that. I'm very competitive when it comes to the landscaping, the Christmas lights, that kind of stuff. So nobody has a garden that I can. Well, yeah, my neighbors do, but whatever. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. See, I'm competitive. So, Banky, welcome to the show. Welcome back. It's been well over a year. I don't think you were here at all during COVID. How you been making out during COVID? How are things for you and yours?
COVID has been interesting. It's been interesting. It allowed me to really have a lot of time to myself to reflect, make changes in the way I do business, and yeah. It didn't affect me as much as other businesses because I've always been doing online stuff, web design, and all of those stuff.
Sure.
But it allowed me to look at the current process I already have and see what I can even automate even more. So I would
Okay.
say there's
Now,
been improvements.
oh, okay. Now I saw solopreneur in your bio, I believe. So, are you a one-woman show, or do you have like a small team?
Currently, I'm a one-woman show. Yes,
Oh.
right now. I outsource too, every now and then, but most of the time, I'm a one-woman show.
Most of the time. So give us a little background, if you will. I'm going to step out, let you say hello, introduce yourself, and kind of just start it out. Take us back to where little Banky, where did she originate from? What kind of little precocious girl was she? And did she have a lemonade stand? When did you start thinking, I want to make my own money? I want to be my own woman? And last point of that question, it's a multiple. Who, as a young girl or young woman, what female was your role model? So I'm going to step out, say hello, and let you run with all of that. Take all of that.
Wow. Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for having. Um, so the first question would be, if I remember correctly, is how it all started. So the name Banky is a nickname. My real name is Cherise Benjamin, and it started when my mom was pregnant. I have two older brothers. One wanted a boy, the other one wanted a girl. And the one who wanted a girl had the opportunity to name me, but couldn't talk properly, so called me Banky, and that name kind of stuck as a pet name for me throughout my life. But my name on my birth certificate is Cherise Benjamin. So that's about how it started in terms of how the name Banky started. How my journey started as an entrepreneur. Growing up, I'm from Trinidad. I'm from Grenada, so I'm born in Trinidad, grew up in Grenada, and I came to Canada at age 9. Um, so I have a Caribbean background, and in the Caribbean, um, whether it was Trinidad or Grenada, I was always surrounded. In Trinidad, my aunt had a convenience store. In Grenada, my grandmother had a shop, and I spent a lot of time around um, business people, right? In the Caribbean, and coming into Canada, my dad had his own construction company, and I had helped him out with his bookkeeping and stuff like that. Also surrounded around, having your own business. It wasn't the direction I went though. I went to college and then I went to work, right? But while I was in college, while I was working, I had the passion in me to be a graphic designer. It started even from high school. I was working, volunteering for a magazine, Your Time Toronto. It was what it was called at that time, and made friends with one of the graphic designer on there. Still my friend today, and he showed me a lot of different things. And my brother also was into it, and it was, it became something that I bonded with and grew to love, and instantly, like I loved doing graphic designing instantly from the moment I started. And that's pretty much how I knew this is the direction I wanted to go into. So it was, I won't say my age, but it was the early 2000s.
Can I say it? I'm kidding. I don't even know it. If I were to guess, I would say that you are an extremely mature 27-year-old.
Oh, nice. Oh my gosh.
Okay, your turn. Now me.
I'm 40.
No, I didn't want you to. Oh, now your turn.
I know. Well, you said 20 something.
Your turn about me. Hello, Marsha.
48.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Only one thing I could say to that. Thank you, girl. Thank you. No, 59 in 3 weeks. And you look fantastic. Now, tell us about your family. You said mom. Is that 1, 10, 3, 7? How many children do you have?
For me, I have one. I have a 10-year-old boy.
Oh, I love that age.
Yes, it's a beautiful age.
It is. There's a 9-year-old next door just turned 9, and he had a bunch of boys over yesterday, and they were building forts and stuff. And I even said to Brian, my husband, I was like, 9 and 10, those are the best years they were for me to be a boy. You know, it was just so much fun. You had just enough responsibility without having to really do a lot. It was still about playing, but you were free enough to get on your bike and be able to go a block over, or you know what I mean? It was just perfect, just perfect. So how exciting. So you're a single mom, right? Single mom?
Yes.
Single mom, single entrepreneur. Okay.
Yes.
So you do a lot of things by yourself. You wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
So let's get into, did you have a happy childhood? Did you have any trauma in there? You know, the only reason I ask that question to my guests is because it's a blessing that comes with it, anything that we go through. And so, oftentimes when people give a couple of those examples, they tie directly into the strengths that have made them so successful today. If you had to choose something from your early life that at the time was not that comfortable, at the time you would have chosen not to live through it, but you did. And now today you look over your shoulder and go, wow, okay, I get it. That was a good one. Does anything like that stand out in your journey?
No, my
Really?
life, I was pretty blessed because I grew up with both parents. I would say in all throughout in Grenada, when I was living in Grenada, my parents came up here first, come up after. So at that time, I was living with my grandmother, but it was still like fun times,
Grenada. Didn't something happen in Grenada back when we were little? Wasn't Grenada in the news? What happened in Grenada?
So historically, there was the Revolution of Grenada, which was a war. That was, I believe, from the 1970s to the 1980s.
That must be, that's what I'm talking about then, because I remember as a kid, Grenada, we were talking about it in class, but no, I wasn't listening. I was like, did you say grenade? She goes, no, Grenada. I tuned right back out. I'm kidding. Well, 10-year-old boy, right around that time. Okay. So, wow. So, yeah, you were born during that. You remember any of that or too young?
No, I was living in Trinidad at that time.
Still had family over in Grenada?
Apparently, everyone in my family is from Grenada, but I was just living in Trinidad at that time when I was born.
Right. Do you still have family in Grenada, though?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never been. Beautiful, I'm assuming.
Very beautiful.
I was going to say, I've not seen an ugly Caribbean island yet. So I don't think that's a thing. So anyway, BANKI, let's get into, let's talk about what you love about the graphics thing. Now, I'm trying to remember. Do you remember what all you did for me? Website-wise?
I did the Power of We website.
You did?
Yes.
And let's talk about how how you do what you, excuse me, what you do. How much of what I'm going to show the website, okay? But I would like to ask you, do some people come with absolutely no idea what they want or need? And how does that work? How does that work? I know how it worked with us, but I want you to talk about it.
Yeah, so I just do a consultation. I gather as much information as I can, knowing the type of industry that the person is in, knowing the type of features that they want on their website, um, what information they already have that they want to put on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also knowing, understanding what their branding story is like. Their branding is really important. And just if they have any websites that they like, and what do they like about, not like about other sites that their competitors are doing, for example.
Right. Now we're going to get back to this thing. I wrote it down, branding story. That's a topic I want to talk about. But let's talk about before that. When you say, when people send you or bring you, because you did that with me, but I already had some. So you know, it was easy. Look at this one. Something that they like. Do you find that a lot of people go for the cosmetics of, you know, the aesthetics of the website, but not really send the information over to you because of functionality? You know, I need a tab to do this. But they go, oh, I want that thing to move behind there, or I want a video banner. All, you know, it's just like people who, I used to buy cars based on what the dashboard looked like at nighttime. I wanted it to look like a cockpit. I didn't care what the engine was doing. I don't care. Right. It was like, oh, wow. And stereos were the same way back in the day when you had stereo systems. I needed all the levers and lights, and I wanted it to glow in the apartment. I didn't care about all. I never even used half the levers and stuff, but I just liked the lights. So do people kind of have that bells and whistles mentality as far as not knowing that what they look like, but not how they want it to operate?
Exactly. So a lot of people would like a site, but it's not really in line with what their branding story is, or the industry that they are in. So when it's not in alignment, I like doing the consultation at the initial beginning, so I can review those sites with them via Zoom, and just to go through and find out why do they like it, and how would it apply if they were to apply their product or service to something like that.
Okay. Now, Banky, websites. You know, we all have our Instagram, our Pinterest, our Twitter, YouTube, so forth and so on. And we have conversations on all of those platforms with people. But I know for a fact, because I'm guilty of it myself, so many of us forget that there's a conversation that needs to be happening continually between your website and the people who visit it. Yes or no?
Yes. So pretty much you need to know what your website is doing for you, right?
For instance?
Like, where do people go most when they're on your website?
What are they looking at?
Yes. So the area of their website that they visit the most, you need to put more. You need to find out find out the reason why it is, and put similar products. If it's an e-commerce website, for example, and they like buying the cell phones most, right? As a product, you may want to put products that aren't being sold as much as the similar items at the bottom, other pages that aren't other products that aren't being sold as much. So just knowing the information on your website, knowing what your website is doing for you. I hope I'm answering your question.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the click-through thing and driving traffic there. You got to know what you want. Some people are collecting emails for newsletters and for events and things like that. Others are selling e-commerce, like you said. So no matter what your product or service is, and some of us, like myself, even though I have events and things on there, Bathrobe Moments is on there, Power Symposium is on there. My website is really my coaching, but my website is really about the trunk of the tree. Elevate Productions, Lauren Michaels Harris, and then those other things are the tabs. So we're going to go to a brief commercial break, and I want you to think about this. I would like if you could put some tips together for us, top 3 tips about how to build, what to bring when you're ready to build your personalized, monetizable website. What are the top 3 things you need to get in place first to bring to a person like you so that they have enough to work on? Because I know a lot of people just say, here, I want a website. What do you want to do? I don't know. You know what I mean? And it's their story. It's their vision. So think about that. And also we're going to get into how to build your website with growth potential in mind, staying away from that mindset, which allows us or not allows us, but encourages us to paint ourselves into a corner, someplace where you can't get out of. You have to start over. A lot of people have to completely start their websites over. So that tells you right there, the reason they have to start over is like if you build a house and you didn't put the pipes in, you didn't put the wiring in. So you got everything else, but there's nothing you can't live there. It's not functional. So you got to tear it down and start over. That and more when we return. Banky, you working for it today, girl. I know I'm throwing it on your heart. You guys get your questions together. If you'd like us to take a look at your website, maybe you can drop your links inside the chat and I'll snatch them and we'll go over. Maybe Banky will have some suggestions. And she's going to tell you about her products and services as we continue inside of the rest of the hour. I want you guys to stay where you're at. We'll be right back. Don't you dare go away. Now share this out. Alrighty, welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Lauren Miles Harris. Thank you to both of my sponsors today. Swinging with Crystal. She makes those swings so that they grow with your baby. They are inside, outside, and everybody loves them. So get over and check out Swinging Fun by Crystal. It's also a veteran-owned business. And Jillian Sandoval, thank you for the Awaken program, drug and alcohol rehabilitation program, 4 months for women who are ready to live their best version of their own selves. If you would like to get your dream on the screen, just like you've seen today's sponsors, holler at me, DM me, PM me, send me a raven, anything that works for you. If you like it, I love it. Electric Revival, where digital content creation is our jam. Okay, so get over and check us out. Banky Benjamin is here with us. Hi, Cherise. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. Welcome back. Let's get right to it. You mentioned branding story, and then we're going to let you answer all those things that I threw at you before the break. Explain to those who are just getting started, or to those who have a website up, but no one has ever mentioned that specific term. What does branding story mean? And give us an example of one.
Okay. So what I do when I initially someone comes to me and they want to start a logo and they need a website, I usually go through a branding consultation with them, and my goal is to identify their branding story. And basically, I want to create a brand style guide for them in that process as well. So basically, the way your brand the way your business show up in the world in different elements of your business, and having all of that documented is a brand style guide. So and a logo is part of it. A logo is like the face of your business. If you look at the Power of We logo right here, but
Yep. Yes.
you also want to look at the colors and knowing who your target audience is, and what does the colors that you're using for your logo, what does it say to them? How would they, when they look at your logo, how do they feel? And you would really take into consideration color psychology, right?
Okay. Yes. That's a big deal. Absolutely.
It is a
Absolutely. It is. It is. And so, what I like about Banky Designs is, you know, I've gotten that bid from bigger agencies, and sometimes, I mean, there was one that wanted $22,000 just to put a brand Bible together, just to
Wow.
put the brand. That's the font, the colors, all the different. They show you pictures of your logo on a hat, your picture, all that stuff,
Mhm.
and didn't have to go there with you. So, what's the first thing when a person's getting started? I would assume the first thing they need is that logo. Then,
Yes. The first thing they need to do is really understand who their target audience is
target
and
audience.
what to their target audience. Then going into their logo, what they also have to look at is the fonts that applies to their branding, right?
So that should be consistent.
Yes. So they can have a consistent header font, consistent body font. So even on social media, their branding remains consistent in comparison to their website, in comparison to their packaging, that they have a consistent brand throughout each different element where their brands show up in the world.
Okay. Now let's take a look at these tabs across the top, because I know as a user of website, you need, hence the term user friendly. I really have an issue. I get frustrated when I go to a site and there's 16 different categories in a drop down, and you're scrolling trying to get down to the one, and then it automatically goes to one you passed because you bumped it, or this and the other. Is there a formula that you have found works best for what's Alexa, be quiet. How many you should have? Alexa, got to get rude with her. Alexa, shut up. Some people, that's just what some people understand. But I did try to be nice. So let's talk about that. You know what I'm talking about? How you'll go to someone's site, and half the time I don't even know that there is. I guess most of them, when you hit those categories, there's a drop down. Yes.
Yeah.
Most. So what's the number? Is there a magic number? 2, 3? Because I've seen some that have like 8, and it's just too much in my opinion.
Yeah, it depends on the company and what they're offering. Sometimes there isn't a magic number, but is to organize it in a way that it simplifies everything.
Okay. Now,
So
some people, what about this? I've seen that I'll go through everything on one tab, and I'll see the same stuff in maybe 2 or 3 other tabs. Why
yeah,
that? Why the what's that word, y'all? Duplicitous. Why is it so duplicitous? I picked that up with Brian. Brian's always using words like that. I was like, who? So we have a rule. I shouldn't even do that. I have a rule on the show: no words more than 6 letters. But You know what I'm saying? What is that?
It goes back to how the site is being laid out. Sometimes on the site you need to have a consistent header, but when you go from page to page, that the header is consistent. All it means is the same layout, not the same pictures. Yes. So just
Okay.
a matter of having a consistent header. Um, but at the same time, you don't want to have a duplicate of unless there is a need for it, unless there's a strong call to action.
Yes.
But if it's too redundant, then it's something you have to look at when you are going for the layout,
Right.
looking at the organizing of the layout.
And see all this stuff here at the bottom. I was so happy when you suggested, all of this down here, which is easy for people, because the Power of We is all about the kids, so that people can click and find out about being a sponsor, being a speaker, mentorship. The forms are there, downloadable videos, photo gallery, all these things. So let's there's so many things I want to ask you about this. Um, and here they are again for people to click on. You guys can see how clean and concise. BANKI, you've really done a knockout job at getting all of this laid out, the colors that make these tabs stand out, all
Yeah.
of those things. Because I've had other sites, and I know what I'm getting now. All of this, just changing it up. So, okay, let's talk about this at the beginning. One of the pieces, one of the components. Now, this is, see, this one has dropped down because it has all the pictures from both years and videos, and then our sponsors, and we can buy tickets here to my different events. So, how important are these things up here? These graphics, these covers that when you go from page to page, who decides on this look, or is it a combination, or it could be either way, the designer, the client, or both of you? How do you get to this?
It could be either way. Sometimes clients are very specific and they provide the images that they want.
Mm-hmm.
In this case,
You
it was,
chose this. You chose this picture for me, and I loved it.
yes,
Talk about that. How did you get to this? These are lockers, right?
yes,
School lockers,
um,
right?
exactly. So it's really about what the Power of We is about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And applying that to the website, right?
Yes.
You know, it's really wanted to something that kids have in common when they go to school.
There you
So
go. Okay. Now I just clicked over to the video thing. Let's talk about that. When people are collecting, say they have video and they're gathering their assets to bring to a person like yourself, is there a certain type of video? I know there's MP4, there's MOV, can they use video from their phones, let's say for instance, and have it embedded into their website? Now I know you have to, like, I upload to YouTube. Some people do that Vimeo. Which do you prefer?
it all depends on the theme that I'm using. I typically do WordPress themes,
Okay.
and a lot of them, the majority accept YouTube links. Some do Vimeo, but the majority is YouTube. I would always say you can't go wrong with YouTube. It's better to put your videos on YouTube. As long as your video can go on YouTube, it can go on your website.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason why you want to put it on YouTube, because if you put it directly on your website, you're taking up a lot of server space. So
Okay.
to avoid your website moving slowly, you would put it on YouTube, and then it's from YouTube is embedded onto your website.
Okay. So how do you feel about what we're looking at the bottom? Logos of sponsorships, affiliate things, and also I would put in this category testimonials, reviews, things like that.
I think it's really needed, especially on the homepage, because it speaks to the credibility of your brand.
Okay.
Your sponsors, they trust you, and so it really talks about trust.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. So last but not least, all of this content, the written content. When we first see these pages, I know you send them to me, you go and start writing your narratives. And it's all in Latin, you know, when they first put it out there, just to show you the space. And that was, even though I'm a wordologist and I love writing, I love speaking, I have to be honest. That was the thing I put off and procrastinated around the most. Can you talk about, do you have any suggestions about how to make that easier or less intimidating, I guess would be a better way of putting it, for those who are facing that part of the build out? She must have froze. She did. She froze.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
That's okay. Did you hear the question?
No, please repeat.
A lot of people, I'm in, even though I love words and I speak for a living and this and the other, when the narrative, when it, you know, when it's all Latin and I have to replace it with my own voice, do people ask you to write the narrative and stuff? Can you do it for me? Do you find people are intimidated? And what suggestions do you have? What are resources people can use to get that? Because that's important. That's your voice. That's your conversation. Any suggestions on how to get that, nail that?
Yeah, like I get that all the time. I even got it last night. They might want to try just hiring someone to do it, a copywriter.
A copywriter. So that's the name that you're looking for if you need P8, all the nutrition and vitamins you need. 100% vegetable juice. I drink 2 a day. B8. Okay. And out. Okay, got my 7-second promo in as promised.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Product placement. Okay, so go ahead, BANKI. Go ahead.
I do offer for anyone who is willing to pay for that service of a copywriter. I do have one on my team that I can subcontract out. Okay. But yeah.
Okay, great. So what's the first step for a person who wants to, that they got a business plan or they're going to pull the trigger on ribbon cutting and getting everything? When do you want your site done? Before, I mean, you open yesterday? Do you want the site up before you're officially doing business to get people hyped up? What, or does it depend on the industry you're in?
I would say it depends on what's going on leading up to it. If they're having any type of maybe promotion leading up to it, I would say, you know, go by that. If you want to have a teaser, I would say the website should be done before you start anything else. So before you launch anything, the website needs to be up because it is the most important marketing tool for your business. Okay. So it would be in priority to be one of the things that is finished before you announce that you have business, that you present to the world.
Now, BANKI, is as with all things, you know, we hear it all the time, you get what you pay for. Now, this is a real sticky thing when it comes to website. Because I know people, and I saw some sites, because remember when I was always told by, even when people that I didn't end up working with, and you know, we're in the discovery process, they would say, send me links of ones that you like. And they'd be like, well, that's a $10,000 or a $20,000 website. And I'm like, why? Just because, you know, and then you'll get somebody, you know, put something online and get somebody say, I'll do it for $70. What should a person expect as a reasonable investment to get a reasonably sound and functional and a website that is got nice bones about it, I guess you could say, so it can grow as you grow? What's a nice round budget to start setting aside so that when you're ready, you have the money there to get your website? What would be that figure for people to kind of start with?
It depends on, I would say 2,000 might be a good number because you're looking at different things that you might want to add on to the site that you may need to purchase, like plugins. So I would say 2,000 might be a good number to start. It could be less.
And what are those? What are what are they, plugins?
It's just enhancements for your site.
Like what? What would be one of those?
Um,
Oh, what about like Vicky on I wonder if that's one on her magazine site, Global Achiever. As soon as you pull it up, it starts playing music.
that might be something that came with the theme. I haven't seen her site, so I'm not sure.
Okay, so what's a plugin that we commonly see on a site and don't know that's what it is?
The video, there's always video plugins, for example, that has multiple videos playing at the same time. So you have one standard video that plays, then you have a list of other videos that you can choose from, like a video player. That would be that a plugin would be something you'd purchase to make that happen.
Okay. Now, now some sites I go to, they have like a video banner across the top that just automatically starts, and some with music. I find that music, I'm just saying personally, a bit off-putting, because if I already have music playing in my office or whatever, you know, and something's getting turned off, and I'm in the middle of my jam or my vibe, and you know, you're just a piece of what's going on here, website. You're not in here to run nothing, you know. So if I can't turn it off, I turn them off. If I can turn the music off, I click off the site until I'll go back later when I'm not doing something else. What do you find? Why, you know, is that a good thing? It just depends, or how do you feel about it personally? All of that business at the top.
I just designed one last night.
Yeah, it had a video.
Yes, it
and
was.
Music.
Yeah, as soon as you log in, the video plays. But what I did specifically with that one, and it was by the client's request, is that I muted the in order to have the music play.
You did what? You cut off. You muted?
I muted the option where the music plays right away. Instead, it's muted, and then the user who's on the web
Decides
will have on to listen to the music.
See, now that I like. It's those ones where you're forced. It's like, open your mouth. I don't want take it. You know, right? That kind of deal. No. So people like options. People like options. So, last thing. Not last thing. What about this? What about the little lock that we see? I know when I visit a site that doesn't have that SSL certificate, talk about that and tell people who whenever somebody's trying to get my credit card or something and they don't have a secured site, I am off. And now I have a protection plan on my system, which is on our phones too, that if we try to go there, even you used to could override it before I put this on. Go in anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now I can't. It will not let me go onto a site that doesn't have an SSL certificate. Talk about that. A lot of people don't do it because it's a couple, $300 a year, and it's just for that little lock up there. Talk about that and how it speaks to the credibility of your brand/product.
It is, because it shows that your website is trustworthy. So it is needed to have an SSL certificate on your website. It does cost more, but sometimes you can get it included with your hosting plan. So I would really look at your hosting plan if it includes a free SSL certificate, and then you can just pay them both together, and it will be cheaper.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you can get your SSL certificate from someone other than like GoDaddy? Because I'm with GoDaddy.
Yeah, so GoDaddy, in their hosting plans, they have one that includes the free SSL certificate.
I didn't know that. Now, some graphic designers host. You host me. Don't you host me somewhere?
No, yours is with GoDaddy. What I did is that I put your site on my server before I put it on your server.
Okay. Okay. So how does a person know about that? Because I had someone even call me after an event I did. I think that was Vegas, and they were like, "Oh, I'll host your site for free. I'll just put it on." I'm like, "What is that? What is that when they're hosting? What are they doing?"
Well, they're running your site for you essentially, but one thing I would say that, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, that you should have your own hosting plan for your website, that you should be in control of the hosting of your site.
Why do I think in my mind hosting means, oh, here's my website. Here, Banky, want to host it? Sure, jump on. Okay, now I'm sitting in Banky's house somewhere. Like, I mean, when does that come into play? I had a hosting nightmare when I wanted to get a new developer. Remember you? And I couldn't track where the hosting was because it was still over at the old place, and the guy had. Oh, okay. Now, okay. So here we go. Somebody was hosting me. They disappeared, and I could not get my site back, which is why you had to build it from scratch.
Yes.
Remember that?
I remember. And that is why you need to be in control of your site. That's why I believe everyone should have their own hosting plan instead of getting someone to host their plan for them. One of my clients, I had put something on their site, and the site needed to be resetted because of the way someone else had designed it previously. And that person, she couldn't remember who hosted the site. And it turned out it was a person all the way in India. And to contact with that person, it's a different time zone. Eventually, we got the matter fixed, but it's just one of those examples where you need to be in control of your site. If anything happens, God forbid, if the person who's hosting your site passes away or anything like that, that you don't have access to your website anymore. So,
okay, that makes me want to ask this next question because I know we all see it. Okay, Dr. Jan, I see your question. We're going to get to your questions, everybody, here in just a second. My last question is this. Two-step verifications. How important are those? Because I'm just going to say, I was working with someone on my very first big event, and I gave them passwords and logins to everything, all of my social media, my website, everything. Then when I fired them, it took me almost 60 days to get all of my control back to all my ships, because when they would send me, I would try to change passwords and stuff. They would send, the person went in and put their phone number and put a two-step verification on all my stuff. So when they tried to, and when they'd say, we sent a code to your phone to verify it's you, it went to him. So I had to copy my license and sign affidavits for everything from YouTube to Pinterest to Twitter to WordPress, everybody, to get my stuff back, which was almost, like I said, a 60-day dip. No website, nothing, for my entire brand. And all of them, all of the arms, 7 of them. So talk about that if you could, about this two-step verification. Who should have that information?
The person who the website belongs to, not the person who's building the website. The person who's, while the person is building the website, you can turn off the two-step verification if they need to go into it. But while the website is finished, you're in possession of it. I'm all for a two-step verification because it keeps your site secure from hackers.
And so I should not before I let somebody in and give them an admin power, I need to put my own two-step verification on, right? Because they would have to know that to change it to a different one.
I would turn off the two-step verification while they're in it.
Right.
And then put it back on while the site is down.
So they can't add their own.
Exactly.
If I've just turned it off.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. All right. And does that apply not just to our websites, but all of our other things as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys, two-step verification, Google it, find out. If you don't find what you need there, then, go to the source. Here it is. BANKIdesigns.com is the best place to go to find out all the things that we've talked about today and more. So, Banky, what is the biggest stumble, for lack of a better word, that you find people make with their websites that are easy fix? What are the top 3 things? Let's get some tips out before we get out of here, that people should look for to know, okay, maybe I need to get a refresher, a shot in the arm. I need a makeover for my site. What 3 things could signify to a person you might need to reach out to a BANKI Designs professional?
If your site is running slowly, if it's no longer, yes. Sometimes people have sites for years on and they haven't done anything with it at all. They haven't did any maintenance while the site was up. So over time, it runs slowly, and the information, they need to update their plugins. They need to update their information in there as well, right?
That
So,
is Brian.
So definitely, I would say to just, if your site is running slowly, that's the flag. If the images are no longer a reflection of who you are today, that's the flag, right? And if your message to your customers, if it's no longer the same. Sometimes as we grow as businesses, or the direction that we start off with and the direction that we're heading to changes. And if your message that you're sending to your customers, your call to action that you want your customers to do, if it's different from what's on your site currently, reach out to me.
And real quick, thank you for that. That's perfect. Dr. Jan had asked about, she had a couple questions. Should there be drop down from tabs or just scroll downs? And where should the call to action be?
Okay. Call to action should be throughout your site, but you should know what your main call to action is. You can have like maybe up to 2 to 3, no more than 3 call to actions at the very top of your website, at the banner. I would maximize it at 3, but I would say maybe 2 is a good number to have, because you don't want it to be too many things going on. You really want to simplify things. Right. But every time you put a description of something, I would put a call to action, maybe to learn more or to contact us. Those type of buttons are all call to action. Okay. And you drop down and scroll down. I'm not sure if she's referring to a multi-page website or a one-page website where you scroll down.
Okay, and is that the same as a one-page website, the same as a landing page?
A multi-page is different, because a multi-page will take you to different parts of the website, where a one-page will have you scroll down till the end. If your website is
those ones that just keep going and keep going and keep going.
I would only use a one-page website if your information is really short and to the point, and mainly if it's a service-based website.
Yeah, because I was on one of those once, and I'm not kidding you. I scrolled for 2 minutes, and still there was no end in sight. And then I couldn't hop back. I had to scroll all the way back up. I didn't know how to make it just go straight to the top. So, but that's probably me. BANKI, thank you so much for coming in and clearing up a lot of the myths and giving us some great insight. You guys that want to continue this conversation with BANKI and her team over at BANKI Designs, here it is on your screen, bankidesigns.com. And I'm going to drop her other connectors into the chat. You can go back and find them for Facebook and all the other places where BANKI is doing her thing. So again, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. Thank you for making the Power of We Symposium site what it is. I wouldn't change anything. And I just love working with you. It's always been a pleasure, and you've just been a real joy, So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me on here today.
You're welcome. You guys have a great day. Be the best, live the best, give the best, and expect the best. Don't live inside of a world of surprise. Live in a world of expectance. The blessings are yours. They're already here. They're right there. Can you see it? I think you can. I hope to see you and you and you all tomorrow morning, God willing, 8 a.m. Central. We'll do it again. I'll meet you out on the front porch, where my guest will be Lena Kabula. You'll see her here tomorrow. What a wonderful story. Absolutely riveting. I don't want you to miss it. So get out there. Be the blessing you want to see in the world. Stay strong and be good to each other. Bye, everybody. Bye, BANKI.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
just way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul, and honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.